In my time as a fish YouTuber, I had made a lot of rod guides. And this is kind of sad because this is actually going to be my last one for the first sea, that is, because the second sea is coming to Roblox Fish, meaning most likely nothing else is going to change, making this the final rod guide that you will need to go from the flimsy rod all the way to the ethereal prism rod or the seraphic rod. We'll go over those two routes and exactly how to get to those rods in this video. So subscribe if this helps. Let's go. So guys, starting with the flimsy rod, the first thing you guys want to do is either go to the carbon rod or use these codes. But if you don't want to use these codes, the carbon rod's right here at Moosewood for the cost of $2,000. But yeah, the codes are right here. This will give you more than enough to get the very next rod on this list. And if they're expired, just go back on the Fish Wiki and look them up yourself. Anyways, once you guys have used all those codes or saved yourself up a grand total of 7,500 credits, you can make your way all the way over to Rosslyn Bay. This is where you guys are going to get your next rod, one of the most bestest rods in the game for beginners. I'm talking about the steady rod. Oh, I was wrong. It was 7,000 credits. But yeah, what you guys want to do is go ahead and grab your steady rod. And now I can actually show you guys the first place I want you guys to fish at to get a good amount of XP. Not XP, money, all right? First, we're going for money. XP will be later in this video. But yeah, this spot is good because the steady rod is one of the first rod that you guys can get that actually has a really high max kilogram limit of 100,000 kilograms. Very, very good. As well as a 30% resilience, 0.05 control, 35% luck, and a really trash lure speed. But we don't need to talk about that right now, okay? Take your boat from Rosslyn Bay, and here's where you guys need to go. If you're at Rosslyn Bay, take a left all the way to the back right past the volcano until you guys see the Grand Reef. Go all the way to the Grand Reef, but there's a certain spot you guys actually want to fish here. As you guys can see, there's a bunch of these little tornado things, and in these two right here, this is called the Atlantean Storm. This is the best spot for you guys to fish as a beginner with the steady rod, and you guys need to do this until you save up a grand total of 40,000 credits. I know, it probably sounds like a lot, but don't worry, it's actually not that bad. But yeah, just keep fishing in the Atlantean Storm until you guys have enough credits. And once you have your 40,000 credits, take your Heart of Zeus. And I know some of you guys may not have this, which is why I will link my Fish Beginner's Guide / the only guide you'll ever need that also tells you guys how to get to Atlantis. Anyways, get your Heart of Zeus, go right into Atlantis, and this is... Oh, why did it not teleport me? Okay, anyways, this is where you guys are going to get your next rod. What you guys want to do is go right past this statue where you see this little ship thing or whatever you want to call it, and come to the merchant right here. Right next to the merchant for the price of 40,000 credits is where you guys can get the beautiful but lovely Depth Seeker rod, all right? It's cheap, but very, very powerful. I mean, let's read off the stats. 55% lure speed, 70% luck, 0.17 control, and 25% resilience. So yeah, absolutely insane, and I recommend either fishing right in the Atlantean Storm where you guys were before, or the volcanic vents. We'll get more into that spot later. And yeah, so I would honestly recommend, if you don't know what the volcanic vents is, just stick to the Atlantean Storm. And there's two ways you guys could go here. You guys could either grind up all the way to 300,000 credits to get the volcanic rod, which is also in the volcanic vents, or you could get the next best upgrade, which is the Champion's rod. This only costs 80,000 credits. So if you're looking to make a small upgrade, I would say get the Champion's rod. Very solid as well with a 45% lure speed, 65% luck, 0.25 control, 30% resilience, and a 200,000 max kilogram limit. And by the way, if you guys were thinking of enchanting your rod, I would either say for the Champion's rod, get hasty, and also for the Depth Seeker rod, get hasty if you guys can. Anyways, whether you got the Champion's rod or you're skipping to it, you guys need to get to a grand total of 300,000 credits to get the next rod on the list, the volcanic rod. So I'm going to show you guys real quick where you guys can get that. But you guys actually need to come to Rosslyn Bay with a submarine. It's actually really easy to craft. On the left side or right side of Rosslyn Bay, there's going to be this guy called Glimmerfin. He's this crazy looking dude. Talk to him. Then you guys want to mine obsidian blocks until you guys can craft your very own submarine. Then you guys just want to keep on going down until it starts to look very volcanic-y. Yeah, I'll let you guys know when you get there. Don't worry, it's not any sort of maze anything, so it's actually really, really easy to get to. Anyways, I'll let you guys know when I'm there. As you guys can see, this is what it kind of looks like, and you just want to keep on going through this tunnel until you reach the end and officially make it to the volcanic vents. And once you guys are here, if you have sundial totems, you technically don't need to do this, but what I recommend for you guys to do is set your spawn. You can do this right over here with this little yellow dude in the suit. And you guys need to do this because I'm gonna have you guys leave whenever it's nighttime and make it daytime. Whenever it's nighttime, make it daytime, because that's the best time to fish here. If you guys have enough money, like you have some extra money to buy sundial totems, they're $2,000 each, and they can basically do what the method I am telling you to do without actually leaving the game. But yeah, basically the reason I have you guys doing that is because all the best fish that you guys can catch here are at day, and all the trash fish are at night. So yeah, just make sure to fish here at day, and then just go through this it's not that long, but it's a little bit of parkour, and once you guys get to the end, you will make it to the volcanic vents. And oh, don't jump in the lava because y'all kind of get set on fire like I am right now. Anyways, okay, once you guys are here and you have your 300,000 credits, you can buy the volcanic rod. For the price of 300,000, you get one of the best rods in the entire game right now, with a 30% lure speed, 90% luck, 0.1 control, 15% resilience, and a infinite max kilogram limit. You can catch any fish in the game with this rod. Not to mention, each fish actually has a chance to get mutated with something called the Ashen Fortune, which actually makes every single fish worth even more. I think it's like 3 times more. So yeah, but as you guys can see, look at all these people around me catching these magma leviathans. They are so easy to get right now, and they're worth a ton of money. But yeah, you guys want to grind here at daytime for as long as you possibly can. And oh, real quick, I'll tell you guys a good bait to use. You can either use seaweed, which you can get from common bait crates. You can buy those at Moosewood, or you can use coral, which you can get in the Desolate Deep, but it's kind of annoying to get there. So I would just recommend seaweed. But the next rod that I recommend for you guys to get is either the Rod of the Depths or the Tempest Rod. The Rod of the Depths only costs 750,000, and it's actually really good, but it's kind of hard to get. So I will leave my rod guide for the Rod of the Depths in the top right corner of this video or in the description. Check both of them. But yeah, this one's really good with a 65% lure speed, 130% luck, 0.15 control, 10% resilience, and a 30,000 max kilogram limit. But what I would honestly recommend to do, since this spot is already really OP for money, even without the Rod of the Depths, it's actually super good to just grind up to the Tempest Rod, all right? With a 90% lure speed, 120% luck, 0.15 control, 40% resilience, and a 2.5 times higher max kilogram limit than the Rod of the Depths, the Tempest Rod is very, very good. Not to mention, it has a special ability that acts like the steady enchant, and if you don't know what that does, it makes every fish progress 20% faster. But yeah, if you went straight to the Tempest Rod, you're good. If you have the Rod of the Depths, fish here until you have enough to get the Tempest Rod, and then you guys are good to do one of the 2 following methods. Method number 1, XP method. So for XP method, you actually only need to grind up another 2.5 million credits, and this 2.5 million credits is to get the Challenger's Rod with an 80% lure speed, 110% luck, 0.2 control, 30% resilience, and an infinite max kilogram limit. The Challenger's Rod is actually just a better version of the Tempest Rod. And once you guys have the Challenger's Rod, once again, use either coral or seaweed, and you guys want to go to the Challenger's Deep. You actually have to go back in your submarine and go more down. I'm not going to show you exactly how to do it in this video. I will leave one of my guides in the description, or you can just search up Ayze Mariana's Veil guide. Anyways, you guys are going to want to fish there and only fish at nighttime. So if you have your sundial totems, which you honestly should have way more than enough money to get those by the time you are that rich, you guys just want to fish at nighttime in the Challenger's Deep and just keep on doing that, because right now that is the best method. And also you can do the calm zone, but that is harder to get to. Once again, Mariana's Veil guide, and then eventually you guys will be level 1000 and be able to get the Seraphic Rod, and that's it. That's all you need for the XP guide. But what about the money guide? All right, let's talk about it. Okay, if you have the Tempest Rod, what I want you guys to go is get 1.7 million. I had to look it up. I don't know why I didn't remember, but once you guys have that, you can get the Zeus Rod in Atlantis for the price of 1.7 million. Very, very good rod, and its special ability makes it that almost every single fish you catch is going to be worth 3 to 4 times more. But yeah, right now the Zeus Rod is the second best money-making rod in the game, making it the easiest way if you guys use either seaweed or coral bait on this one as well. And the steady enchant is actually the best one for the Zeus Rod. But yeah, if you guys do that and fish once again either here in the volcanic vents or for the calm zone. And if you're in the calm zone, fish there at nighttime. Very, very good spot to fish at. And I will actually show you guys what it looks like right now, because this honestly probably will be even the best method for money and XP, because right now it's really easy to catch crystallized sea dragons. And honestly, I don't think they're gonna nerf it, because they're literally adding a second sea into the game. But yeah, you guys fish in the calm zone and you're gonna catch a bunch of these crystallized sea dragons and be absolutely set. Eventually, you guys will sell a ton of those and get up to 15 million credits. And once you guys get up to 15 million credits, you can go right in the middle of the water here to buy the ethereal prism rod, the best money-making rod in all of the first sea. And once you guys do that, you will officially be done. And now you guys can just make as much money as you want and probably get into the second sea by this point. Anyways, kind of sad that this is my last rod guide in the first sea. I'm gonna miss you, but we're gonna have a bunch of rod guides in the second sea. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and subscribe to me. I'm see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.